Yes, greetings, blessings, people. We're here. We're live and direct on the Big Bad Station with yours truly, Djkat the Kat-a-lyst, and I'm joined by a very special guest. She's here live and direct on the phone. So, of course, special guest, let the people know who you are.
Yes. Greetings, everyone. This is Ayana Soyini, also known as DJ Ayana, from out to New York City, live and direct with DJ Kat.
Hey, energy. First of all, it's honor. It's a blessing to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me and sharing your platform. I do appreciate the honor. Thank you.
Anytime. So I think we have to start by asking, where did your journey begin? How did you get into this business we call music?
Yeah. Well, I was born in New York City. So, New York is a very cultural place and landscape, so music was all around. My father was big into music. He rolled with a lot of musicians during his day, my mother as well. So music was always around.
Yeah.
So it's just something that's just kind of in the bloodstream, so to speak,
I hear that. I've heard that New York's quite difficult to navigate when it comes to music. Is that true?
I think it depends on it depends on what you're trying to do, because there's a lot of people here and there's a lot of talented people here, so you definitely have to find your community.
Yeah. And
then come up from out of a community, a movement. You can't. You need people.
Yeah.
You can't just roll solo and think you're going to get very far. You definitely have to network, and you have to come up out of a community and out of a movement. When I first came into the music industry,
yeah.
I actually started off working as a intern in a recording studio.
Okay.
In Harlem, and then I moved up and became an engineer, and so I was running recording sessions, and then eventually I wound up linking up with a hip hop group,
okay.
A collective called Natural Elements, and they were based out of the Bronx, and they had it was a collective of MCs and producer named Charlemagne, and they had an indie record label.
Yeah.
That they were running, and so they were pressing up vinyl records, which was the primary medium at the time. This is in the mid 90s.
Nice.
I was still a teenager for the most part.
Yeah.
And we started, we were putting out music, and then that caught the attention of a lot of different record labels. And so that's kind of where my start in the industry came about. Was during that time period there.
Wow, so you're an all-rounder in the music business. You're an all-rounder.
Yeah, well, you kind of have to be,
Yeah.
if you want to have some longevity in it. I never really saw myself doing music as a career.
Okay.
That was definitely not my goal.
Yeah.
But the father seemed to have a different goal for me, as far as... I never realized I had musical talent. It was other people who kind of like, yeah, you have talent. Like, you can really take this somewhere, So, I just kind of rolled with the opportunities that were coming my way, and I developed myself.
Yeah.
I learned how to operate professionally in a recording studio environment. Being a hip hop artist at the time, I learned how to perform on stage and how to interact with the media and the public.
Yeah.
And then eventually I kind of went back to my roots, and I went back to DJ and sound system. And so I learned a lot more about that world and sound clashing and that kind of thing.
Wow, okay.
And all of that has kind of helped build me and sustain me so that I'm still here.
I love that. So do you have somebody that you support in regards to a sound, or a particular hip hop artist that you really enjoy?
Well, right now, I have my own sound system. I still do. I have my own sound, Soyini sound.
Yeah.
I used to play for Medina International as well. So I don't have a particular sound that I'm endorsing right now. I kind of stepped back from the sound system world for a minute. So I was putting on events with some of my brethren, and we promoted some sound clashes, and I was, really deep in that world here in New York. And then I got the opportunity to play for a radio station in the UK named Chawa Radio.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And so, I was playing for Chawa, and then eventually I started, I left Chawa station, and then I was just streaming, broadcasting from my website. And then during the pandemic, radio syndication company out of the UK named Syndicast picked up one of my radio shows. So I had 3 radio shows at the time, and one of them was called Global Dance Party.
Yeah.
And that got picked up by Syndicast, and that eventually wound up on 65 radio stations around the world. So that got really big.
Yeah.
And but eventually I wound up stepping back from that because during the pandemic, things we were on lockdown and everything kind of slowed down.
Yeah.
And in music, it's a lot of hustle and bustle and movement, and you're here, you're there,
Yeah.
So having the opportunity to kind of slow down, a lot of revelation came to me, and I really heard, the voice of the Most High Yah speak to me and let me know that the way I was using the music, he was not happy with.
Okay.
Yeah. So even though I always lean towards, the conscious side and the rutical, article kind of side and vibration, still there was things that I guess I was doing that he was not pleased with. So he sat me down for a long while.
Yeah.
And so now I'm on kind of a path that's more aligned with what he wants me to be doing.
Okay.
So that's where we are present day.
I love that. So, the question I've got to ask is, what is it that he wants you to be doing?
Well, he told me, daughter, I want you to go back to playing instruments.
Okay.
And I had always had a love for the melodica.
Oh, yeah.
I just always loved that sound.
Yeah.
And just that whole time period where like Augustus Pablo, was working with a lot of different artists, and then that whole roots reggae time period back then, and the music that came up out of that always just deeply resonated with me,
Yeah.
So I always had a love for the melodica, so I picked up the melodica.
Oh, nice.
And a lot of music came to me, during that time period of the pandemic, and so I was just recording, and so I have a lot of music that I recorded during that time period, and I'm still recording.
Yeah.
A lot of it is based around the melodica.
Okay.
And so I have a project right now. I have a single that's out called Showers of Blessing.
Oh, nice.
Which is based on Ezekiel chapter 34, verse 26.
Yeah.
And it is a melodica based song. So the melodica is the lead instrument. And I'm going to be following that up with a full length also called Showers of Blessing. That's all instrumental, featuring the melodica.
Oh, okay. Nice. Wow. Yeah, Augustus Pablo, you can't beat him. So the fact that you've took inspiration from him to make what you're making is going to be a fire. I know that already.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the melodica. It's not like it's a mainstream kind of instrument, and so some people at first were like, well, why did you choose that instrument? I'm like, I didn't choose it, it chose me.
I love that.
It chose me, so I'm just gonna roll with it. I'm not really interested in, doing what's popular per se, because I've already done that and had a lot of success with that. I'm that's not my focus this time around. And so I'm also working on another project. It's a lyrical based project because I do have a past as a lyricist, as a vocalist, and so I'm working with a graduate down in Jamaica named Nova from Dub School.
Oh yeah.
And so so we have a project we're working on now that will be featuring me doing some vocals.
Wow.
So the first single we just finished mixing the first single. So I anticipate us releasing that sometime before the end of the year.
Okay.
So definitely look out for that one as well.
Wow, you've been busy.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so, it's just, we have to utilize the talents and gifts that we've been given.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's all I'm doing. I'm just trying to utilize the talents and gifts that I was given. All thanks and praises to the Most High for the blessing, and just trying to be in alignment with, the heavenly realm as far as promoting good vibes and love and unity and righteousness. And, yeah.
So I know you spoke about the time of the pandemic. So do you feel like you're all-rounded person now?
I feel I'm, definitely more peaceful person, as far as I'm at peace with a lot of things that have gone on in my life, and just being involved in the music industry can really take you to some dark places.
Yeah.
If you let it, So there were times I was definitely in a very, very dark place just because of the circumstances I was dealing with, and things happen, that you're not necessarily prepared for, and that it's unexpected.
Yeah.
But definitely I have a lot more peace now. I had to let some things go, and that was part of the problem. I didn't want to let some things go because I had a lot of success doing it. So, but once I just kind of let things go and became at peace with, okay, I'm just gonna step out on faith, and I'm just gonna have trust in the Father that He's guiding me.
Yeah.
The way I need to be guided, and once I really committed myself to that, then everything just kind of fell into place. And
yeah. But you know what? It takes someone special to be able to say, okay, this is the problem. It's creating loads of money, or it's creating this, creating that, but it's causing me a problem. That's something special to recognize still.
I mean, I guess you can look at it like that. It's kind of hard for me to see it because it's me. So, it's difficult to kind of really step back and be objective sometimes, but you just get to a point where, this music industry will really try your soul, like it'll really test you on so many different levels. And so the good thing about that is that you can really come to know yourself. So I definitely feel I know myself, and I know what's good for me and what's not good for me, and that definitely helps to stay the course and endure. It's a rugged road.
I hear that. But you know what? I still have to give you your flowers and prop you up for recognizing it. You ain't recognizing it, but I'll recognize. I'll big you up still.
All right, sister, I appreciate that. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And
So man, so talk to me though a little bit. Let me interview you for a second.
Okay, drop it.
Tell me about the UK vibration. Like, what's going on in the UK as far as roots music, and where do you see it now, or where would you like for it to be?
So in regards to the UK, there is a few select sounds. So for example, you have Channel 1, you have Iration Steppers, you have some really big heavy hitters. But I think, as in regards to roots and dub, I think since Shaka passed, I think it's kind of gone to more Europe side. So, like Germany and Italy and so on, which obviously changes the face of roots music in its own way as well. So the actual scene itself has kind of changed for a good few years now, as opposed to it being, conscious and rootical. You can go to a festival and you've got a whole heap of people on drugs and this and that, rather than it being about the music. It can be more about jumping about, So
right.
yeah, for me, I've always kind of toiled with it, because yeah, I love playing music, but am I really impacting people the way I want to impact and the people that I want to impact? So yeah, I've had the same sort of questions really. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be a worldwide thing. Maybe there's something happening spiritually worldwide, where we're just being called, we're being called and reminded to come back to our memory.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe just really kind of step things up to really have more of an impact in our community, and then, you know, the world at large.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when I talk to different people around the world, you know, I hear similar sentiments as far as people are just questioning the times that we're living in and the direction that the world is going in.
Yeah. And I think for me, I have to remember that the generation before, they went through sufferation, real racism, poverty, all these different things. And I think that came through more in the music, and it wasn't so easily accessible. Music wasn't so, you can access it, every single thing. You had to work hard for it. You had to, you know what I mean? The quality control, everything was really thought about. Whereas nowadays, a lot of it seems rushed and just all rammed together. So yeah, different times.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. You know, nowadays it's very easy to kind of put out music, and it's out there as far as digitally on, you know, via the internet and social media platforms and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said for some of the gatekeeping that naturally occurred in the past, just because being able to record music was more of a privilege. It wasn't easily accessible, you know. And so because of that, there was a level of quality control that we do not have nowadays, you know. And you know, there's even pros and cons with the gatekeeping, because we know there was some men who were in positions of power who were very corrupt and abused their power. But the level of music that came out, it was more so the cream of the crop.
Yeah, it
went through the gate, as opposed to everybody going through the gate.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, there's pros and cons, but the stories and the level of storytelling within the music is just, it was second to none, as opposed to, don't get me wrong, there's a good few gems out there, but you have to really kind of go through the record box to find those good gems. For me, anyway.
Definitely. No, I agree. That's actually one of the reasons why I stepped back from my radio shows. I was starting to feel very burnt out, because I was attracting, because of the Global Dance Party show, I was attracting a lot of artists and industry people who were just flooding my, you know, inbox with music.
Yeah.
And then being a part of some DJ record pools, you know, now you have even more access to music, but to have to sift through hundreds and thousands of songs every week to prepare your radio shows, and, you know, to kind of curate a proper playlist, was just very, after a while, I was just feeling really emotionally drained, because I wasn't feeling I wasn't feeling like the music that I was listening to and I was consuming so much of was really nourishing my soul.
Yeah. You kind of
spirit,
you become the music, don't you? So yeah, if it's not great, you're going to become that. So it becomes really, it can become a bit daunting.
Yeah, it definitely, you know, so I just, you know, it was just time for me to kind of take a step back, because I was feeling burnt out. I was still doing, and it's funny because, you know, when I listen back to the shows, like, yeah, the energy and the vibes were there, but I know, like, inside, I was really just kind of, at a certain point in time towards the end, I was just going through the motions.
Yeah. Well, you never know, I might get you to do a little set for me.
You and everybody else trying to get me back around the sound system. Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna rule it out, you know. I'm definitely not gonna rule it out. It's definitely still in my blood, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I have my dubs and everything as well, and I have some nice 108 tunes that, you know, it'd be a shame to never let those be heard again. But So yeah, I'm not gonna rule it out. So maybe if I'm over by your way over in the UK, we can link up and have a nice little session.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And you know, it's nice to hear a female selector as well, because you know we're very small already as selectors.
Yes.
So when it's a female selector, you kind of wrap each other in cotton wool a little bit, because you know what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, it's not an easy road, and it's not a lot of us, you know. And so the ones that have endured, and it's not just a passing phase, the ones that, you know, have endured, definitely, you know, I always hail and salute, because without knowing the person, I kind of already know what they've been through.
I hear that.
Yeah.
So sis, how can people find you? Because I know for a fact people are going to want to find how to get your music, get what you're doing, find who you are, all that stuff.
Yeah, so I did a reset. So I don't have Instagram anymore. I don't have a TikTok.
Okay.
I have a Facebook page that's not active. What I do have is I have a new YouTube channel called Ayana Plays Music.
Okay.
And so I just started releasing videos and uploads to that YouTube channel. And so to kind of, you know, I'm honestly still in the stage of trying to find the audience for who this new music I'm putting out is. So I just decided to just start over. So YouTube, Ayana Plays Music. You know, they can subscribe to the YouTube channel. I also have a website, which is soyinisound.com. Soyinisound.com. SOYINI sound.com. Join the mailing list. You know, that's always the best way to stay in touch, is through the email list. So we're not at the mercy of the algorithms.
Yeah, that's it.
And then yeah, you know, they can find the latest single, Showers of Blessing, there. If you do sign up for the email list, I send you the song for free. So that's the two best ways to find me. The online headquarters is the website, and then the social media is the YouTube channel.
Okay, nice. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit now. Would you be up for either, you can sing a little something, whatever you're feeling for the people out there?
Let's see. Let me give you some lyrics that's going to be on the upcoming single I have with Nova. So this is an exclusive just for you,
nice.
DJ Kat. No one has heard these lyrics yet. So it goes, this one is called Perilous Times. We're living, no time that's borrowed. People are living for likes and follows. You got to go viral. Through promoting self. Social media destroying your mental health. You know why? The beast system is here with the latest technology. Buyer beware. They're tracking our movements. Is there no escape? Cell towers disguised as natural landscape. And they're poisoning slow by feeding us toxic music and videos, so that you never know. Trapped in the matrix, consumed with only just acquiring the latest. Nowadays it's wasting our precious time. The finish line is control of your mind, control of your thoughts, and control of your spirit. They'll shut down the internet so few people hear it. We're living in perilous times. The walking dead, devilish minds, a system of poverty rooted in crime. It's all designed to hold you back. We're living in perilous times. The walking dead, devilish minds, a system of poverty rooted in crime. It's all designed to hold you back.
Hey.
Yes.
Oh. Wow, I love that. You're giving me a little kind of poetry vibe there as well.
Oh yes. I actually, before I was a hip hop artist, like I said, I had no idea music was my destiny. I was just writing poetry, and then I was listening to an underground radio station in New York at the time. And there was the collective I mentioned earlier, the hip hop collective called Natural Elements.
Yeah.
And they were on that radio show. It was called Underground Railroad radio program. And they were on that radio show, and they said they were looking for a female to join the crew.
Oh, nice.
So I called in.
Yeah.
And all I had was poetry at the time, but they really liked my poetry, and so that's how I linked up with them. And through being with them, I kind of turned into a hip hop artist.
Oh, okay.
So I really started off with poetry.
Okay, so you're like me then. You love poetry.
I do.
Okay.
I do enjoy a good spoken word, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely have a foundation in poetry and in jazz and dub and roots, in hip hop, you know, in reggae, in ska, in mental, in
everything.
You know, just just you know.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. You know what, sis? I could speak to you all day. All day.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the conversation, but I know you have to wrap it up.
That's it. But you know, before we do, is there any final thoughts for the listeners out there? And of course, let the people know how they can get your kind of contact details or so on, so they can book you. They might want to book you after hearing all of that.
Yeah, well, they can reach out to me via the website.
Okay.
And there's a contact form at the website, soyinisound.com, or you could just send an email to info@soyinisound.com.
Yeah.
That would be the best way to, you know, reach me if it's a professional booking.
Yeah.
They also, I have a business phone number that I readily give out, which is +1 for the US. You can hit me on WhatsApp.
Okay.
+1 917 524 8918.
Okay.
So yeah, the people can just link me. You know, it's music, so you have to turn public when you're dealing with music.
That's
you
it.
know?
That's it. So, of course, any final thoughts for the listeners out there before we go?
I just want to, once again, thank you, DJ Kat, for having me on the platform and allowing me to just share a little bit of my life and my experiences. You know, I just want to let everyone know that, you know, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is real.
Yeah.
You know, and keep him in your heart. You know, and stay positive, stay motivated, stay elevated, because, you know, like I just said, we're living in some perilous times, you know, and the race is not for the swift, but for who can endure. So make sure you endure to the end, and the rewards and blessings will, you know, come your way.
For real, for real. Thank you again, sis. It's been a joy. And remember, you can always message me, contact me, send your music. Gladly share it on the radio.
Definitely.
Yeah, man.
All right, sister. Thank
Bless
you.
up.
All right, bless up.
Bless,
All
bless.
right.